absolutely thrilled to welcome Alfonso Herrera, a great actor, a singer. You blew me away in Ozark. You blew me away, you really did. I was actually quite scared when I knew I was going to talk to you about how you would be, because you seem to just contain a stillness about yourself which was menacing, which was brutal, but was so relaxed, and it really, really, really scared me, and at the same time I was just so in admiration of what you do.
Well, gracias, thank you. That's one of the best compliments.
Well, I'm just glad that you've turned up and you're not going to kill me. That's kind of the basic of it.
You know, unfortunately, that's like the response sometimes that I get when people see me for the first time and have watched the show. But actually, I don't like violence. I don't like any type of mechanism that produces violence. I always try to have a conversation. I always try to solve things by talking. There is in Mexico we say, se matan más moscas con miel que con hiel. You kill more bees with honey than with acid. The hiel, it's like it's like a type of acid. So I think that there is a possibility to solve things always with a good conversation, being empathic and being respectful. That's it.
Go on, sorry.
And the comparison with Javi is that he just gives people one chance.
Right.
One chance.
Yeah.
And if they do not manage to convince him, they're gone. But I mean, in my opinion, as we were chatting before the shoot and all of that, I think that the secret or something that was very important for me was to understand the tone of that show. And to really think on the human side of that person. Yeah, you can read it as a villain, but at the same time, he's just a man that wants to be accepted by his family, but at the same time, every single place where he goes, he's not accepted. He is not accepted by the birds. He's not accepted by his family. He's not accepted by his uncle. So there is a point of survival for him to say, okay, I'm gonna make fun of it. I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm just gonna have fun, and I'm just gonna blend into this tone. So it was a fun show to do.
Was it a fun shoot?
It was a fun show to do, and specifically Jason.
Yeah.
He's incredibly funny.
Yeah.
On camera, outside of camera, and
I heard that he keeps a really great atmosphere on set.
He does.
He keeps it. I guess being an actor as well for so long, and a child actor as well, he knows exactly how everyone feels and what goes into a day.
Yes, and specifically something that he does, and many people that were on set shared, is that since day one, season one, he took care of every single person. So many people that started that show in 2017 finished it in 2021. It's a large journey, it's like a family.
Yeah,
and you become family, and you need to take care of each one another.
Actor's dream, right? Actor's dream to be in that sort of caliber of writing, of story, of character, of cast, of team. It's an actor's dream.
Yes, and specifically the backbone of it. The scripts are so well written. They're so elegant. Sometimes they use the words in a very precise way. Yeah. They don't overuse words. And sometimes they solve things with actions, which is easier and more specific. And it's a great job from Chris Mundy and from all the writers' room.
Well, as I say, genuinely, it blew me away. I was so taken in, and I was especially taken in with your commitment to what you did. It really threw me in a way that I didn't know what to expect. And
Thank you.
Having time with you now, it's a joy. You know, it's like, oh, well, he was
you
acting.
You see that I'm not.
Well, I don't know.
Like that.
We'll see if we go through the questions. You might switch on me at some point. But anyway, Alfonso, it's so nice to have you here, and I know you come from Mexico and you live in Mexico City. I know that I think your first English-speaking role was in 215 for or
It was
Sensei?
Sensei, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
So that was, but before that you'd been involved in this band called RBD, which is a huge Latin American band that went all around the world, sold 9 studio albums you did, and then you sort of got into television, you were big in television, and then this is how you came to be doing what you do. And you've played Batman on the podcast.
Yes,
so
yes.
Your kids must be thrilled.
I talked with my 5-year-old not so long ago, and this is something I said in a previous interview. And it's quite funny because I went with him and I said, Daniel, your father is going to be Batman.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and he said, no, of course not, you're my dad. What are you talking about? Come on, shut up. Let me play with my tablet. And but not so long ago, there was a premiere of a movie I did I actually did the dub of DC Super Pets for Latin America.
Okay.
And he went there with all his friends, and he was super excited to hear the voice of his father.
Oh, amazing.
So when you're a father, you understand that.
Yeah.
That has no price.
It's the
that
best.
has no price.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And you're just at the moment, I hear, doing a film called Rebel Moon for Netflix again with director Zack Snyder.
Exactly.
And how's that going?
Amazing.
Is it?
Amazing. It's amazing to work with Zack and to be on a set from Zack's.
Right.
It's proportions that I've never experienced,
Okay.
and it's been an amazing experience.
Right on.
It's been an amazing show. It's an amazing story. So can't wait.
Okay.
Can't wait to see the final result, because you have to use your imagination.
Sure.
Because everything is green.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Incredible. Yeah.
So I am
Yes.
really looking forward to that end result.
Amazing. Well, what we do here is we ask you 20 questions that are at Mr Feelgood that are aimed to get to kind of the heart of who you are as a human being. 15 of them are quite heavy, maybe not, and
We'll
5
see.
of them
We'll
are
see.
quick. Well, we'll see.
We'll
But
see.
really, what we're doing here is just really trying to. We're just all about honest conversations and intimacy, and just really getting to know a person, or getting an idea of who a person is and what makes them tick, what motivates them, just as a way so other people can see and read and
Amazing.
be inspired. So we start off with, who the fuck are you?
I'm a 38-year-old Mexican that was born in Mexico City, that went to Guadalajara when he was 4 years old, when their parents divorced. I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to study aviation. And all of a sudden, life took me into art. And I felt that was my path. And from time to time, I thought, is it really my path? Then life took me back into arts, into humanism, and here I am. Still working from this, and something very important, I can give something to my kids from what I do. Because if I do well, they do well.
Exactly.
That's it.
And
Nothing is for me anymore.
Ah, right, there we go. And how are you feeling right now?
I feel blessed with the projects that I have. I feel blessed. I always try to say thank you, and when things are not going that well in my mind, I always take a break and say, okay, time to say thank you. Just to have some perspective.
So just sort of trying to exercise gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Exactly. That's very well.
It's interesting as well, isn't it? Because that's a big thing, and it has been a big thing in the last 5 years, as far as coming to my consciousness as well, when I've been struggling and having challenges. But it really does work. If you really do, it
puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
Because I come from a place where sometimes things can be a bit harsh in other places. So we need to be thankful for what we have, and I feel very thankful for having a job. I mean, not so long ago, like 2 years ago, with the pandemic, everything stopped, and it was harsh, not for one person, but for every single human being in this planet, and that thing took us away something, money.
Engagement,
something
purpose.
that has to do with an emotional thing, a family member, a friend, and that's why I feel
Blessed and grateful.
Blessed.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Right on. Where did you grow up and what was it like?
I grew up in Guadalajara. I was born in Mexico City, and I moved to Guadalajara when I was 4. That's when I remember my childhood in Guadalajara, in a neighborhood, mid-class, playing soccer behind the Club Atlas, which is a very famous club in Mexico. And I had like the best memories from childhood, playing soccer with a bunch of friends. Yeah, that.
So it's good. It's good, solid, normal, happy
Life.
Active childhood.
Yeah.
What excites you?
A Sunday with a lot of soccer,
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Football. I love football. I think it's the best sport in the world. I wanted to be a soccer player. That's what I wanted to be when I was very little. And my mom, I played for inferiors in Atlas, and I started to play a bit well. And the trainers, the director técnico, the trainers, they asked my mom, "Hey, can he come for some games in Monday, 11 a.m.?" And my mom, "Of course not. You're going to school. Shut up, and that's what you're gonna do.
Right.
You're gonna go to school, and that's it." And I thank her for that a lot.
Right, but you still enjoy it, you love it, and that's what excites you. The work must excite you as well, though, right?
Work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting a new character or, something, does that get you going?
For example, talking about soccer and football and work, I always find parallelisms.
Right.
I once heard a talk from Pep Guardiola and from Trueba, a Spanish director, and then the similarities between being on set and being on a bench, talking to players and talking to actors.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
there are a lot of similarities,
Yeah.
and at the same time, you live with a pressure, and that pressure is a privilege.
Oh.
And I love it.
Oh, I love that. I've never heard anyone say that. You live with the pressure, and that pressure is a privilege, and I love it. That's great. What scares you?
Thinking that my kids could be in a risky situation. I once heard that your kids is like a piece of you that is dancing around outside of you, and you cannot control it. But it's
Yeah, well, you've got young ones, I've got old ones. You've got to give them all the sort of strength and the lessons and the love and the support and the guidance you can, and then you got to let them go. And it's never going to be easy because they are a part of you. It's so.
But yes, I think that thinking that my kids could be in a dangerous situation or in a risky situation, that scares me a lot. Basically that.
Okay. What's your proudest achievement, or your proudest achievement?
Well, I feel very happy with what I have achieved, with my own work, with my own hands. I feel very happy with what I have achieved.
And what is the hardest thing you've ever had to do?
Go to work and say goodbye to my kids for weeks or for months. That is hard.
Yeah,
that is
that's tough. Yeah, that is tough. Okay, who was your greatest mentor, and what did they teach you?
My mom. She was a single mother, raising 2 kids, all by herself, working, raising us. We were a headache when we were kids. My brother and I, oh my God, we were a headache, and I value so much all the effort that she put, and I just thinking about that and remembering her by her own, raising us, it's
incredible, isn't it? They are incredible though, mums, aren't they?
It's amazing.
My mum brought up 3 of us by cleaning houses, other people's houses in Yorkshire, and it was really nice when I could look after her.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And now having the possibility to give
to help
something,
her.
to help her.
It's great, and I bet she's proud. I wonder what she thought of Ozark, your character, Javi.
She didn't watch it.
Did she not?
No.
I was going to say,
she doesn't
that
like.
was
She
hardcore.
doesn't like to watch me on those type of
Wow.
ways. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow, if she ever watches it, let me know. will
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
If she
yeah,
does.
yeah. I'll give you her feedback.
Really, I'd love to know, because that would have, well, that would be
Yeah.
basic. Who are your fictional and real life heroes?
My fictional on real life heroes. Messi.
Same birthday as me. I'm
Messi.
just a bit older than him.
I can now see why you're a lefty. You use the right side of your brain. Messi, I mean, he is gifted. He has something unique, not because he's a football player, because he thinks. People say that when you're a good football player, you can solve things with three different kind of ways. He can solve a play with 9 different possibilities, and that is a genius.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would like, there was this commercial from a sports brand that you put yourself inside and you have the perspective. I sometimes would love to see that perspective. What is his perspective? How he solves things. And I find football and life as a conjunction.
Yeah. No,
There is a very interesting link.
Yeah, get it. Well, he's just on a different level, isn't he? He's a master. He really is a
I
master.
hope he goes to Qatar, he wins the World Cup,
Oh, yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, and then he says it's done.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What is your favorite item of clothing in your wardrobe?
My tennis shoes
Okay.
and the shorts that I used to go play soccer.
Right.
When I played soccer.
Okay.
That.
Okay. What music did you love age 13, and do you still love it now?
Salsa music. I love Latin American music. Cumbia, salsa. It puts me in a good mood. I remember salsa saved my life in the pandemic. I was shooting in Atlanta, Ozark.
Okay.
And I was studying, and salsa brought a little bit of joy to my life.
Really? Okay, that's cool. Wow. Because that seems so different to what, to who you are as Javi as well. But no, I get it though. Because he was loose and lucid and sort of cheeky as well, wasn't he? So I get it, yeah. That makes sense actually. What is the most inspiring book you have ever read?
The Labyrinth of Solitude from Octavio Paz. It's an essay that talks about Mexicans.
Okay.
And how we are as a society. And it's an amazing writer, rest in peace. He wrote that essay outside from Mexico, in France, to have perspective of who we are as a culture and who we are as a nation.
And what year was that? What generation was he? When was that? Was that the 50s, the 60s, 70s? Do you remember
I don't know specifically when he wrote that, but something that is very interesting is that he wrote it outside from Mexico to have perspective.
Yeah, no.
I think that when you are outside and you can look things from outside, you have a better perspective.
Yeah. It's like an omnipresent look, so you oversee the whole thing. And then you can come back in.
And you know what? I just did a movie that is called Viva Mexico with a director that I love so much. He's Luis Estrada, and in my personal opinion, he's one of the best directors in Latin America. And that was our reference.
Okay.
So it was amazing.
Shortcuts.
Exactly.
Amazing. What is a movie that left a lasting impression on you?
I would have to say The Godfather, 1, 2, and 3. And because of an emotional thing with family, we gathered together as a family, and sometimes we watched it on a Saturday, 1, 2, and 3, just all the family together as a thing family did.
So your mum knows about those sort of characters.
I actually didn't watch that with my mom.
Okay.
I watched that with my father.
Okay.
And it was a cool moment for us.
Interesting. It's a great
because he enjoyed it, and he passed me that that love towards that film.
What is your favorite word or saying?
It's actually a Spanish word.
Okay.
It's in Spanish. It's almohada or omnipotente.
Oh.
Just the sound of it.
Wow. What does it mean?
Almohada, pillow.
Okay.
Because of the sound of it,
Okay.
and omnipotente.
Like omnipotent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow, nice. Okay. What do you want people to say about you at your funeral?
Joder, that es una pregunta difícil. Joder. He had fun and he left with a smile.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, quick 5. What's your favorite car?
My car, a smart car. I had a smart car.
Nice.
Yeah. In Mexico City, I had a smart car.
What color was it?
Gray. Tiny one.
Whoa, well,
I mean, traffic jams and try to find a spot to park.
Good in Mexico City though, because it's so busy there, isn't it?
It is.
So you're in and out. It's like Paris. Sports team.
Barcelona.
Okay.
And Pumas in Mexico.
Okay.
And in England.
I might have to leave.
Sorry, Man City, brother. Sorry, Man City. I'm sorry, man.
You're the only person.
Sorry, brother.
It's only because I love you. Otherwise, it could have been.
Get out of my house.
We could have been fighting. It's fighting talk. Okay, moving on. Grooming product.
You know what? I would have to say. I use. Can I use lotions? Yeah,
Whatever you like, you can
yeah.
do whatever you like.
I like the Tom Ford vanilla. What's vanilla tobacco?
Okay,
I
Tom
use
Ford.
that. Yeah,
okay.
I love that.
Well, then clothing label.
My Adidas shoes.
Just had such a lovely time with you. It's just been
Likewise.
so genuine and so interesting and so fascinating and learning, and you're just so warm, really warm. And I just wondered, is there anything that you haven't ever been asked that you'd like to be asked, and you don't have to come up with an answer, or is there anything that you want to share or that you'd like to talk about briefly that's important to you?
Well, I would have to say that I think I already said it, but I do this because of my kids. They are, I think that kids come to life, to our life, no matter how selfish a person could be, in order for us to know what is to give. And it might sound corny or whatever, but I do everything for them. And if life is good for me, it's going to be good for them. And they are the reason and I hope one time they watch this.
Yeah.
And they understand that I'm here because of them.
Right on.
That's it.
You know what? That's it. That's it. Can't do any better.
Thank you,
than that.
brother.
Bless you. It's so nice to meet you.
Gracias.
Thank you for spending the time and coming to see us at Mr FeelGood.
Gracias, amigo.
Bless you. Cheers.
Gracias.